Hi guys, a very good evening to all of you. Last 3 days, I believe, 23rd is the exam, 4 days left for your exam. If you discount today, it's only 3 more days left. So my friends, if you are nervous, I keep saying this, there's nothing wrong with it. Have the confidence that you have done your part in your preparation. We have helped you as much as we can. We are still helping you. So today's session is all about the previous year's questions. What kind of questions have come? What time should you take? What can be expected in the paper? Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at what actually happened in the last 2-3 years. After that, I have around 15 questions for you to solve. Now, if you have solved all the previous year's questions, then it will be a repetition, unfortunately, but that's good for you, which means you are fully prepared, committed to it. If you are finding some of these questions to be new, it means you have not solved enough previous year's papers. That's also fine, right? So we have problem solving today. Let's go ahead and take a look at what happened. Right, so what is the topic distribution according to each year? Basically what happened over the last few years. Now 2021 paper is difficult to obtain, so while we could pick it up from various sources, I really didn't have the confidence to put the numbers out there. Hence 2021 is missing. The reason is quite simple. As I said, the paper was actually not, it was not easily available, and it was difficult for us to trace exactly what happened. Yes, there are various sources which have given some kind of a breakup, but if you compare the sources, there is no common thing over there. A lot of people say some X number of questions came from this topic, Y number of questions take from another topic, but that changes from source to source. Hence 2021 I have completely taken out. But if you look at 2020, 19, 18, this is what has happened. You can see arithmetic as a topic is quite important. Out of the 50 questions, you have 3 plus 2, 5 plus 1 plus 4. So totally you're looking at 9 questions coming from arithmetic alone. Yes, Vicky, we are going to practice questions, but as I said, these are previous year's questions, analysis of those questions. So if you have done all the MAH CET previous year's question papers, then it will be a repetition. Okay. Anyway, so if you're looking at 2020, the level of difficulty was easy to moderate, the percentages. Then it was, so you can see there is no difficult question at all. Many of you keep asking me, sir, will the exam ask such easy questions? Yes, there will be easy questions. There will be almost, you can say, maximum one difficult question, if I want to point it out as difficult. Mostly there will be easy or easy to moderate level. That's all. Okay. Do we have any additional registration for the exam? Nothing else, Karthik. That is the only thing. You would have downloaded the admit card by now, so that is the thing you have to carry. There are a set of instructions given there. You have a self-declaration form. So these things, please make sure that you have printed them. Okay. But before we go ahead, my guys, please give me a like on this particular session. If you are not subscribed onto our channel, make sure that you hit on the subscribe button right now. We are also conducting a lot of sessions for MAH CET in the next 1 or 2 days lot. I believe we have 2 more sessions coming your way. They are in YouTube, some of them, and some of them are exclusive only to the app. So if you have not downloaded our app, please download them. We are also going to have live analysis on the exam days, so you can also watch them on YouTube as well as the app, right? Also, we are there on Instagram, so make sure that you're following us on Instagram. Varun says, even if the question is easy, but due to less time, I have to guesswork. Varun, I would recommend that you do guesswork if you can't solve the question in about 35-40 seconds, because there is no negative marking. So do not leave any question. If you don't know, don't waste time, mark and get out. If you don't know, don't waste time, but mark something, don't leave it open. Okay. But self-attested means signed. Yeah, my bad. I used the wrong word, Madhura, not declaration. Okay, sorry. Apologies. Okay, the other thing which I want to keep in mind. Okay, guys, this is expected thing is no negative mark. However, be very careful when you're reading the instructions. If by chance, it's like a very rare thing, but by chance if they say there is negative marking, then please don't guess. We are making this assumption that there will be no negative marking, hence you should answer everything. If there is negative marking, stop guessing. Okay? Ankit, the strategy is very simple. Start with the area that you like. If it is section wise, if it is all jumbled up, we already took the strategy session, Ankit. You would have missed the last session. I think I've taken a session on Friday, yesterday itself. Please look at my YouTube session. I have spoken about what should you do if the things are jumbled, what should you do if the things are not jumbled up. The strategy was discussed at length there. Okay. Afrin is asking what will happen in this year's paper. Will it be jumbled or again the same question? I have answered this enough number of times in the yesterday's session. I don't know. Frankly, I can't predict. I don't see the future. I can randomly say something, but that might not be true. But I will have a suggestion for you. Expect a jumbled paper and go. If the paper is jumbled, it's good for you because you are expecting. If the paper is not jumbled, it's even more better because it becomes easier for you to go section wise. Okay? Right. So if you notice all of these, in fact, the last before year, that 2019 also, it was an easy paper. The 2018 actually was a bit moderate. 2018 was again not difficult. It was a little bit moderate. Okay? So that's what happened. But look at the topics. So arithmetic, geometry was almost zero. There's hardly any. So that's what I told you. 1 or 2 questions at best you can expect. Not more than that. But if you look at number series and approximation based questions, last year for the first time you had approximation based questions. There were no such questions before that. But number series was always there. Number series was always there. Letter series, number series. So logic based questions. But it did not come under logic, they gave under quant. So this basically make sure that you do not miss on these kind of questions. Shrishti is asking, are we going to practice questions? Yes, Shrishti, we are going to practice questions. Hold on for 2 minutes, we are going to start the practice. Okay, and if you're looking at variable comparison, I don't know if you have done this. We have conducted sessions. If you have attended these sessions, good. We also have today's session few questions on variable comparison and quantity comparison. Okay, so we have these kind of questions. They did come in the last 2 years. In fact, you can see this has always been there. Okay. Nidhi says one question in LR clocks and calendars will be asked as there were no direct questions. So again, guys, you're asking me what will come in the paper. Yaar, paper मैं थोड़ी set कर रहा हूँ. I'm not setting the paper. I can only tell you an expectation. Now, if you ask me clocks and calendars might come, yes, it might come. Will many questions come? Definitely not. I can say what will not come in high numbers. Clocks and calendars, you can expect 0 to 2 questions, not more than that. Okay, but yes, should you leave it now? Now is not the time to start preparing a new topic. So if you did not prepare till now, don't worry about it right now. You have enough questions. Guys, 200 questions. You can leave a lot. Don't worry about every small topic. Okay? Right, Om Kenny says, right sir, set kar rahe hote. So had I been setting, I would have taken each question, 5 practice questions based changing the numbers. All of you will get 100 percentile. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, so here's the question starting your way. I hope you have your pens and papers ready, or pencils for that matter. Let's start off. Ansari, this is a topic, I don't want to get into something which is not relevant for the session, because we announce a session, we expect or we set an expectation for the students, so I don't want to go off track, right? So there are separate sessions for DI, there are separate sessions for quant. This is previous year's papers, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. Okay, so this is the first question. What will come in the place of question mark? It's a series based question. Okay. So here's the first question. Let me tell me what the answer is. I will give you 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Wow, the first question itself is a googly for all of you. You have a B, C, D. All answers have been given. Nobody is going for a E. Wonderful. Okay, so let's see. There are a lot of C's, lots of A's, lots of B's, C's, D's, everything is there, but no E. So let's see why is this a googly, and okay, now they are saying many C's. Let's go ahead and see whether it's C or D or A or B. So the question basically talks about the series which is 1, so you have a 1, 11, 23, 32, 45. So observe what has happened. So this is plus 10, this is plus 12, this is plus 9, this is plus 13. So if you can you see a pattern here? The pattern is there are two series. One series is decreasing, the other series is increasing. So 12, 13, 14 is one series, 10, 9, 8 is the other series, and they are alternate. So if this is an increasing series, the next one should be decreasing, should be plus 8. So the answer should be 53, option C. Now many of you might, okay, so here one point I would like to make. I can apply a different logic if needed. Sometimes it happens, and some of you might have got the answer as option D, and the logic might have been perfectly valid too. The logic might have been perfectly valid too. The problem with this, I have a problem with this entire topic itself, not with this question. A problem with the topic itself is that when you are asking me to give me an answer based on 6 numbers, when a clear pattern may or may not be established, or there could be two patterns. One pattern could have been missed by the examiner, and it happens quite a bit. I can actually pick questions where there are two correct answers. The examiner missed it. And unfortunately, the second answer is also there in the options, or there is none of these. And as a student, you got the other option which the examiner did not get. What do? Nothing you can do. You will just have to call it as a bad luck. You would have marked E saying that, sir, I had a perfectly valid reason, valid logic, and I got an answer. Let's say you got a logic with and the answer is 60. 60 is not there, so you marked option E. But as far as the question is concerned, you did not get the logic that the examiner wanted. Now, you can always fight it out, but you cannot. In fact, in my opinion, they will not entertain such kind of a thing. Now, if you ask me, so what happens in that case? Nothing. It's just a bad luck. One question is gone. Thankfully, there is no negative mark. So, you will just take it in your stride and move on. Okay? Bad luck, that's all. So, it happens, guys. It happens. Especially in this. See, in a proper quant question, it doesn't happen. In a proper quant question, where I'm talking about quadratic equation and things like that, usually doesn't happen because there is a clarity there. Missing terms, logic-based questions, if I miss a logical point, especially in pattern recognition, then, see, remember, when 100 brains, 1000 brains, lakhs of brains are solving one series of pattern recognition, there could be one student or even 10 students thinking of in a different way from the examiner. They could have been able to connect all of these perfectly logical, in a logical way, but different from what the examiner does. When that happens, there is nothing you can do, so you just have to move on. Okay, next. Question number 2. 60 seconds. Okay, Jai Gandhi was like, okay, sir, you have spoken enough, move on. I've moved, Jai. So we have a lot of C's, only one D by Mr. Ansari. Okay, so Fit to Fine and Amit Gupta, Swamini Kate have come to help the D option. Ruchi is going with C, Swamini, Ashish, again D's. Okay, so now we have a kind of an equal balance between C's and D. So let's go ahead and take a look at what is happening in this question. What is the correct answer? So here we have the options 10, 6, 7, 15, 61, and then a question mark. So let's identify the pattern. This is basically a difference of 4. This is a difference of 1. This basically is a difference of 8. And this is a difference of 45, 46. How can I find a pattern here? So here it is not clearly a sum difference kind of a question. This is about multiplication. So clearly you can say that this is 6 into 1 plus 1. This is 7 into 2 plus 2 plus 1. This is 15 into 4 plus 1. So into 4 plus 1, but then how is this connected then? 10 to 6 is not into 1. So the logic is, this is 10 into 1 by 2 plus 1. So the logic is, half is becoming 1. So half multiplied by 2 is 1. 1 multiplied by 2 is 2. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. So 4 multiplied by 2 should now become 8. So the factor, so there is always a plus 1. There is always a plus 1. So the plus 1 is constant. So the next question should be something plus 1. This is constant. But 61 into what? That is the factor that you need. So the factor is increasing by a 2. It's doubling every time. So 4 should double to become 8. So this is 8, 6 8 is 48 plus 1, which is 489. That is your answer. Okay. So the answer option happens to be option D. Now quite a few of you got C. I don't know whether that was entirely perfect logic, if you were able to connect everything, or you made an error. Because humanly it is impossible for me to think of all ways in which you can get an answer. I told you already the problem with this kind of a question. Anyway, let's move on. Take a look at the third question now. This is now, so 2 questions I gave you based on pattern recognition series. Now we are moving on to normal quant. Question is here, 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Alright, so that's about a minute. Let's go ahead and take a look at what is the correct answer. So the ratio between train and car is 11:13. The bus, so there is a third quantity or a third entity called bus. The bus travels a distance of 440 in 5.5 hours. So speed of bus is distance by time. So 440 by 5.5. This becomes 4400 by 55. 11 goes 5 times, 11 goes 400 times, 5 goes 80. So 80 kilometers per hour. So the speed of the bus is 80 kilometers per hour. But it is given that the speed of the bus is 8 by 11 times the speed of the train. So your train should be 11 by 8 times of speed of the bus. That is 8. So this is 10. So this should be 110 kilometers per hour. Now remember, train and car are 11:13. So if this is 110, this should be 130. So the car speed is 130. How much distance will the car cover in 2.75 hours? Now remember, 130 is the speed. So the distance is speed into time, 2.75. I can write this as 130 into 2, 3 by 4. 7.75 is 3 by 4. So 130 into 9, 4 to the 8, 9, 10, 11, sorry, 11 by 4. So 130 into 11 by 4, again look at the options. This will become, how much is this? 4 goes, 4 1s are 4 3s are 12, 4 2s are 8.5. So 32.5 into 11. Now guys, very quickly do this. 32 into 11, 32, 32. So this is 352 and I have 0.5 into 11. So the answer should be approximately option D. 352 and just more than that. So the answer should be 357.3. Okay, clear? Right, let's move on. Next question is time and work. Once again, 60 seconds is your limit. Your time starts now. Vritti, मैं तो explain कर रहा हूँ भाई. If I do it in the exam, I'll be doing it in 40 seconds, 45 seconds. Obviously, you can't measure, you can't measure my explaining time, ना? मैं तो आराम से explain कर रहा हूँ. That's the reason why I'm taking more than 60 seconds. But when I do it in my head, it will be much more faster, right? So I hope you get that. Okay, so a lot of correct answers this time. The correct answer, so Vritti was asking, how will I do it in the exam, or rather, my explanation is taking more than a minute. So if I do it in the exam, look at it the way I do. A, B, C, 10, 12, 15. So LCM is 60. So this is 6, this is 5, this is 4. So 60, 60. So total work is 60. Then I'll do, okay, A and C are working together. So A and C together is 6 plus 4, 10. They're working for 3 days. So 10 into 3 plus A left and C worked alone for the next 3 days. C is 4. So 4 into 3 plus B and C joined to complete the remaining work. So B and C is 9x. So this is 30 plus 4 3s are 12, 42. So this is 18 by 9, which is 2. So 3 plus 2. So the answer is 8. That is how you do in the exam. Now let me explain this slowly. Okay, I was just showing this to Vritti that it is not time consuming. I was just explaining it very slowly. Now what exactly is happening here? Let's go ahead and take a look at it. So we have A, B and C. So the time taken is 10, 12 and 15. Now the moment you have 3 times, so 10, 12 and 15, the best way is take an LCM, and 10, 12, 15 is a very common number. Okay, very common number, so the LCM is 60. So the efficiency should be, time into efficiency should give you 60. So automatically this is 6, this is 5 and this is 4. Now if you ask me, sir, how do you know the LCM is 60? If you have done enough problems, my friend, you will notice that 10, 12, 15 ka LCM 60 you would have done some 100 times by now. So that will be in your brain if you have done enough problems. Okay. Guys, it was Vicky. Guys, I did not want to do it to embarrass anybody. I did it to tell you that in the exam things will be much more faster, especially when you are not talking. It will become much more faster. So it's okay. Hold on. Okay. Dil pe nahi leta hu yaar, reflection, that's okay. Okay, so let's go ahead. So what did I do? So this is 6, 5 and so whenever there are times given to you, to find the efficiency, the best thing you can do is take the LCM. LCM of these 3 numbers is very quickly 60. So therefore you will be getting your efficiencies, because LCM divided by the time is your efficiency. So always the LCM, this is the work done or work that needs to be done. So now we have 60 is equal to, so this work, who's doing it? For 3 days, it is done by 2 people. Who are the 2 people? The 2 people are A and C. 6 plus 4 is 10. So 3 days, total efficiency per day is 10. So total units of work is 30. 60 is the total requirement. Okay. Plus, then we have A left, C is alone for the next 3 days. So C is working with 4 for 3 days. So 3 into 4, this much of work is done. Then B joins. So when B joins, 5 plus 4 is 9 per day. How many days? Let's say it is X days. Okay, so this is what I did. I'm explaining the same thing, Ankit. Jo maine 45 seconds या 40 seconds या 30 seconds में किया था, the same thing I'm explaining lengthily. So you'll feel that this is lengthy. That's because I'm explaining very slowly. वही कर रहा हूँ मैं जो मैंने किया था इससे पहले. Okay, so this is 60 is equal to 3 into 10, which is 30 plus 12 plus 9x. You are supposed to find the x to get your answer. So quickly you'll see that 30 plus 12 is 42. So 60 minus 42 is 18. So 18 by 9 is your x. So 9 2s are 18. So, but x2 is not your answer. What is your answer? Total time taken. 3 days here, 3 days here, and x days. So, 3 plus 3 plus x, so 6 plus x. So, 8 is your answer because x is 2. So, and the other thing you need to keep in mind is when you're doing these questions, in fact, I'll tell you, so I don't know how many of you can do this. When you are in the zone, you know, if they say this, you get into the zone. Especially in gaming mein hota hai. I don't know how many of you play games. I play a lot of games. So when you're in the zone, nothing can go wrong. So you'll get all your shots perfect, whether it's a sport or whether it's a computer game or whether it's a mobile game. Your anticipation will be perfect. Your expectation will be perfect. You will be working at your highest capacity. So when you're in the zone, you will be writing this step. The next step will be running in your brain. So when I wrote this, my X was already there in my brain. So that's how it happens when you're actually working at 100% efficiency. Ankit, this is the same thing, bhai. This is the same thing I've done. It's the same thing. What I did earlier and what I did now. Guys, is it not the same? The same equation not been written. It's just that I was very, very fast. Okay, let's move on. Next question. Here's a question. Now this is a nice one. Try this. I'll give you this time 90 seconds to do this. Let's see how many of you can do this. It's not a difficult one. Manan, there is nothing called unlimited free mock test. Welcome to the real world. Okay, you can find few free mock tests. Even BYJU'S Exam Prep, we have given one free mock test. Unlimited, where will you get, my friend? Okay. Okay, let's go ahead. So what is happening here? Let's take a look at it. So we have been given X, Y and Z. Y and Z 4:5. X, let's call it as X itself. I don't know what it is. But we have a relation. What is your Y? Your Y is 1.28 of X. Which means my 4 should be 1.28X or my X should be 4 by 1.28. So I can get this value now. What is this value? This is 400 by 128. I'm just writing it in the without. So usually you'll see me doing this. I don't like that points, decimals. Wherever I find decimals, I'll convert it into zeros. Okay. So 4 goes 3 times, 4 goes 2 times, 4 goes 100 times, 4 goes 8 times, 4 goes 25 times. So 25 by 8. So the investment ratios are 25 by 8, 4 and 5. Okay. You can also multiply by 8. No, nothing wrong. You can multiply by 8 or you can let it remain as it is. Now what is the time? The time ratio, this is the investment ratio. The time ratio is 4:5:3. Now remember, when the investments are different and the times are different, the profit is shared in the ratio of the product. So product ratio, product is the ratio of the product is how the profits are shared. So this is 25 by 8 into 4. This is 20 and this is 15. So 4 goes 2 times. So this is 12.5, 20 and 15. You can double it also if you want because that's easy, because again I keep telling you, right, I don't like a fraction. I don't like a decimal. So I can write this as 25, 40 and 30. Now this is the ratio in which the profit should be divided. So if the profit at the end of the year, this is the total profit. What is the difference between Y and Z? So total, if it is 30,000, so 30,400 divided by, now the basics of ratios. If you want to find the difference between these two, 30,000, so look at the total. 400 divided by, now the basics of ratios. If you want to find the difference between, guys, just a moment. Look at the total. 400 divided by, now the basics of ratios. Okay, there's a reverberation coming in. Please hold on. Guys, just a moment. Look at the total. Okay, there's a reverberation coming in. Please hold on. Okay, there's a reverberation coming in. Please hold on. Okay, there's a reverberation coming in. There's some sound coming in. Okay, guys, I have called the tech team. We are resolving that. Okay, guys, I have called the tech team. We are right, Manan. I understand what you get. Yes, unlimited mocks in books. Even there, they are limited, but you have to buy the books. Yes. So one advice I have is go to every institute. See, BYJU'S Exam Prep, we are giving you one. Similarly, go to the other institutes. एक निकाल दो, हो गया. I understand, Manan. मैं तो मजाक कर रहा था भाई. See, you are all waiting here at 8 o'clock in the night. I cannot be so serious. वरना आप सो जाओगे, right? So once in a while, I'll, hopefully pull one of your legs. That's fine, I guess. Okay, so that's fine. Anyway, so where are we? Yeah, so the basics of the ratios is, if I want to divide this amount of money in these people, first I have to divide that by the total of the ratio. So how much is that? 40 plus 30 is 70, 70 plus 25 is 95. Into, now don't waste your time finding this separately, and then difference. Take the difference of the ratio directly, so into 10, that is your answer. So if you do this, you'll be getting the answer as option C, 3200. Okay? Yeah, so this will be 95 into, so you can say 5 goes 2 times, 5 goes, 5 ones are 5, 5 ones are 45, so 19 goes how many times? I think it goes 1600 times. So 1600 into 2 is 3200, that is going to be your answer, option C. Alright, that's done. Let's move on to the next question. Once again, a question based on percentages, very simple one. Let's go ahead and try to take a look at it. How I got 95? Varun, that's the sum of the three ratios, 25, 40, 30. Total is 95. Ankit, tukka strategy nahi hota bhai. There are certain questions which you can eliminate. There are certain questions which you cannot do anything about it. It is not a strategy. Om Kene, you want it to be fun or you want it to be serious? Okay, let's go ahead guys. Let's see what the correct answer is in this. Each month starting from the beginning of the year, from monthly allowance, Pooja pays 20% towards college fee. So if I take the total as 100x, okay, college fee is 20x. So the remaining is 80x. Correct? Now from this, 20% is our personal travel fund. So 20% of 80 is very easy. 10% of 80 is 8. So 20% is double of 8, 16. So 16x is her travel fund. And 30% for sundry expenses. So 30%. So we know 10% is 8. So 30% should be 24x. This is sundry. This is travel. And the remaining will be 40x, of course, because 16, 20 chala gaya. So the remaining is 40. And this is the, whatever is remaining. That is there. Now, if the total amount in a travel fund was 28,800, but that is for the entire year. That is for the full year. How much did she keep for each month in sundry expenses? So basically what we have is find this amount per month, because all this is per month. And the answer is also per month. Okay. So what we have is 288,000 by 12. So 12 goes, 12 2s are 24, 12 4s are, so 2400. That is the monthly value that she got. So 16x is 2400. what we need is 24x is how much? That's very straightforward. So 2400 by 16 into 24, that's what we need. So 8 3s are 24, 8 2s are 16, 2 goes 1200 times, so the total is 3600. So the answer is option E. Okay, now a lot of you got this wrong. Many of you gave the answers as B, C, D, but I don't know why you did not get the correct answer. This is not a difficult question, but you have to keep in mind, this they do. MAH CET may keep this one thing in mind, guys. From the remaining amount, this they do a lot, especially in percentages question. They trap students every year. Keep your eyes open for this. Okay, let's move on. This is a simple probability question. If you would have attended my session yesterday, we have done this, but I've put it again to show that this kind of questions come in probability because not everybody is repeating this. But those of you who have done it, please quickly get the answer. Okay, so 3 answers I got, 3 B's. Anybody else? Okay, 4th option is also B. Well, these are the correct answers. Let's go ahead and solve and see why this is the correct answer. So you have 5 red, 3 green, 4 red and 6 green. If one ball is drawn from each bag, we want the first one to be red and the second one to be green. Okay, now yesterday I did it in one way, today I'm going to do it in a different way. So what I will do is, I want a red plus green, it could be a green plus red also. What I don't want is, I don't want red plus red, I don't want green plus green. So from 1, I will subtract the probability of getting red plus red and I'll subtract the probability of getting green plus green. We did it in a slightly different approach yesterday. I don't want to repeat the same solution, so I'm doing it slightly different today. Okay, so 1 minus getting a red is 3, this is 5, right? Okay, 5 out of 8, and the second one should also be a red. It is 4 out of 10. Getting a green from the first one is 3 out of 8, and getting a green from the second one is 6 out of 10. So it is 1 minus 20 plus 18 by 80. So this is 1 minus 38 by 80, or this is 42 by 80. This is 4, okay, 21 by 40. So that's your answer. That is your answer. So yesterday what we did is, we directly looked at the 2 cases, getting red, then getting green and then red. We added it. Today we are doing it slightly different because I didn't want to bore you with the same approach. Okay. Now probability P&C can be done in multiple approaches, guys. Whatever works for you, please stick to that. Next question. A very nice, interesting question based on mixtures. 60 seconds. The time starts now. Alright, so let's go ahead and see what the correct answer is. Lot of C's, few D's. Anybody for an A or an E? Okay, 64 liters, many of you are saying. Let us see whether this is the correct answer or not. So in a mixture, the quantity of milk and water, so initially milk and water is 8:3. So it is 8 out of 11. That's the percentage or fractional. Now 44 liters of this mixture is taken out and 18 liters of water is added. Now how many of you know this formula, guys? A minus B by A whole power N into P%. Replacement formula. How many of you know this? Do you guys know this formula? If not, let me explain this to you. If a mixture has P% milk in it, and if a mixture has P% milk in it, total quantity is A. Total quantity is A. You are taking out this quantity of water, this quantity of the mixture, and putting pure water. Remember, B is the quantity which has been taken out, and the same quantity is being put back. Taking out and putting back same quantity. That is most important. And you're doing it 3 times or 2 times, whatever number of times. To get what happens finally, this formula is used. So starting point is P%. A minus B by A tells you total initial quantity is A. B is taken out and then you are replacing it with, remember, this should always be pure water. So what are you replacing it with? You are replacing it with pure water. How many times are you doing it? You are doing it n number of times. Okay. In such a case, you can use this formula. In this question also, you can use the formula. The only problem in this question is 44 liters is going out, but 18 liters is coming in. That is the only problem. So you can't directly blindly apply the formula here. The question here is, I can still use the formula provided this 44 and this 18 are different, or rather are same. But right now we don't have them to be same, they are different. So what I will do is, let me say the total quantity is X. X may say I'm taking out 44. So what I will do is, I will take out 26 liters first. Okay, then I will take out 18 liters. So 18 plus 26, is that 44? Yes, 20, 30, 36, 44. This is still 44. See, whether I take it out one shot 44 or I break it up into 26 and 18, it's the same, right? Let me call this here A. So X minus 26 gives me A. Now I will start the question from here. Now what is the question? I have A liters. From that 18 I am taking out. What is the composition of A? The composition of A, remember guys, the basic logic is the ratio will remain the same. When you take water, when you take something out, you will not change the composition, it will be the same. Imagine you are drinking Bonvita or coffee. Coffee is decoction and milk, right? When you take half glass out of it, will the composition change? It will still be the same. The ratio will be the same. It will not get affected unless you add something in it. Okay? Yes, Vicky, I remember that. Molarity is the same thing that you used and it's the same question that I explained there. So you start the question from here. You are starting with A. Now 18 is gone and 18 of milk plus water is gone. 18 of pure water is coming. So now I can use the formula from A. So what is it? The percentage is 8 by 11 into A minus 18 by A. But how many times am I doing it? I am doing it only once. Is equal to my final ratio, which is 4 by 3, which is 4 by 7. So 4 goes 2 times. So A minus 18 by A is 11 by 14, or 1 minus 18 by A is 11 by 14. So what do I get? 3 by 14 equal to 18 by A. So 3 goes 6 times. So my A is 14 into 6. 66 was a 24, so 84. But remember, A is not the total quantity. A is after taking out 26, which means 84 plus 26 is 80, 90, 100, 110. So the total quantity at the beginning is 110. The total quantity at the beginning is 110. So now in the original mixture, what is the milk? So 110 is the total quantity into 8 by 11. So 11 goes 10 times, so 8 tens are 80. Option D is the correct answer. Now many of you got 64 because you did not realize that this 14 and this 18 are different. That is a trap in this question. Clear? Now somebody was asking what is A? A is the quantity that is left out. A is the quantity that is left out after taking out 26. Now where did that 26 come from? 44, I am breaking it as 26 and 18. So that I can start my question from here. because 18 going out and 18 coming back are same. Okay, let's move on. That's a good one, Akshay. Anyway, well guys, there's the last question, last 1 or 2 questions coming your way. 9 and 10, 2 questions we'll do and see what the answer is. Okay, I don't want you to do this the same pattern. Let me take a different question now. So these are quantity comparison and I want you to do this question. Not this. I'll give you one good one. Let me see. Yes. Okay, try this question, question number 11. Okay, you will have 60 seconds to do this. Okay, we're getting E's and B's. So let's see what is the correct answer. So here, you can split this as 2x square minus 4x minus x plus 2 equal to 0. This becomes 2x, x minus 2 minus 1, x minus 2 equal to 0. So this is x minus 2 into 2x minus 1 equal to 0, or I'll get x equal to 2, x equal to half. 2 possibilities for x. Let's take a look at y. The y gives me y minus 3 and y minus 2. This is an easy split. Minus 5 in the middle and 6 at the end is easily split as 3 and 2. So my y can be 3 or y can be 2. Now the moment you see this, you will say that okay, I don't know what is x, I don't know y, so you'll say no relation. But actually there is a relationship. What is the relationship? Whether x is 2 or x is half, you will notice that it is always less than or equal to y, irrespective of what is y, because y is 3 or 2. So if x is 2, it can be equal to y or it is less than y. If x is half, it is guaranteed less than y. So no matter what is x, it is always less than or equal to y. Okay? Let's move on to the next question. This is again same pattern, but quickly give me the answer. This time 45 seconds. Give me the answer in 45 seconds. Vicky, this entire video is getting recorded, so irrespective of how fast I move the screen or the slide, you can pause it and you can see the question. Okay? So what is happening here? This is x plus 2 and x plus 6. So x equal to minus 2 or minus 6. 2 possibilities. Second one is y plus 5 and y plus 9. So y is minus 5 or minus 9. Now the problem is, if x is minus 2, it is more than both. If x is minus 6, it is either less than y or it could be more than y also, depending upon what is y. So there is no clarity now. It could be less than, it could be more than. So we don't know. Hence, there cannot be a relationship, or a relationship cannot be established. Hence the answer is option E. So because here we got values where sometimes it is more, sometimes it is less. That is the reason. Okay, so this is data sufficiency and I want you to answer this question. I'll give you one question to answer. Yes, answer this. Last question for the day. Varun, 5 is to 3, 8 is to 3. 8 is to 3 means 8 out of total 11. 8 plus 3 is 11. So percentage is 8 milk out of total 8 plus 3, both. Total 8 by 8 plus 3. That's correct. So now you just have to tell me, is only one sufficient or both sufficient, or you want together? Don't worry about the option. Just tell me, is statement A alone enough? Is statement B alone enough? Do you want them both together? Do you want them both independently, or you can't get an answer? Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. What is the surface area of the cube? Now, to get surface area, what do you need? Surface area means it's a cuboid, right? So cuboid means you have 6 faces like this. Okay, my cuboid is never straight, so pardon my figure. So you have a length, you have a width, and you have a height. Length, breadth, and height. So the surface area, total surface area, is 2 times of LB plus BH plus LH. If you know what is your length, breadth, and height, you will get your answer. If you know what is your length, breadth, and height, you will get your answer. Now let's look at statement A. Statement A says each dimension of a cuboid is an integer less than 23. The volume of the cuboid is 154. So 154 I should split into 3 because the volume L into B into H, that's the formula. And I want integral values less than 23. What are the possibilities? Break this up. So this is 2 into 2 7s are 14, 2 7s are 14, so 2 into 11 into 7. This is one way. But is that the only way? I can also write it in a different way. I can write it as 1 into 22 into 7. I can do it in this way also. I can write it in a third way. 1 into 14 into 11. This is also correct. So 3 ways I showed you how to write length, breadth, and height. Each one is different. So now if you find the surface area, depending upon my length, breadth, and height, I might end up getting different surface area. So statement 1 alone will not give you the answer. Statement 1 alone will not give you the answer. If I take statement B alone, B alone says length of the cuboid is 7. If I know the length, what will I know about breadth and height? Remember, we don't have this information. When you go to statement B, you should not use A information with you. You cannot use A information with you. So try only with B. Only with B says length is 7. That's all, nothing else. So we don't know breadth, we don't know height. So B alone is not enough. So you proved that A alone is not enough, B alone is not enough. Now let's combine them. If I combine them, you will say that, okay, this possibility is wrong. Why? Because one of them should be 7. So 7 is not there in this, hence it is wrong. Agreed. But what about these two? In these two, you will still have 7s. Which means, depending upon whether it's the first way of splitting or the second way of splitting, I can get 2 different surface areas. Hence, the answer is statement option 5. Both the statements together cannot give you the answer, because you could not get the answer. You got 2 answers, let me put it that way. So data sufficiency, you will say you got an answer if it is confirmedly single value. If there are 2 values and you don't know which of these 2 is correct, you will say that you did not get the answer. Okay? Shubham, the formula in that milkwala question is A minus B by A whole power n p%. What is n? N is a number of times you are taking the mixture and replacing with pure milk, pure water. Okay, you are replacing the mixture with pure water. A is the initial quantity what you have, total quantity what you have. P percentage is the initial percent of milk and water in the mixture. Okay. All right, guys. Then why are they asking the questions? How do I pronounce it? One ironmancy. One aromancy. The only reason I can say why are they asking those questions is so that you get tortured. Okay. Fun apart, I hope you enjoyed the session, my friends. Thank you. See you in the next one, and all the very best for your next 2 days, 3 days of preparation and your actual exam too. I'll see you in the next session. Thank you, guys.